Yep. Brr. It's almost the full moon. Almost the full moon. And there we go. There's the last one. And you know what? With it being almost the full moon, this morning, it was a brisk 56 degrees this morning. When I went out for my walk this morning, you could feel fall creeping in. Except it really wasn't creeping. It was kind of like in your face. Bam! There's the cold. That shift in the air. The reminder that seasons change whether you're ready for it or not. And believe me, I'm not ready for the fall, even though I do love the fall. I think the fall is my most favoritist part of the year because it's nice during the day. It's nice and chilly at night. It's perfect for camping. Literally. It kills the mosquitoes and all that other stuff at night. You got a nice fire sitting warm by. Literally perfect timing for camping. So I love the fall. So I'm excited about it. I'm just not excited about all the rain or the fact that there's going to be snow soon. That I'm not looking forward to. Sort of like how life is. Every time a new season comes by in our life, we grow up. We graduate from middle school to go to high school. We go from high school to college. We go from college to our first career. We go from our first career to management position, or maybe supervisory positions, or maybe we decide to open up our own business. Every chance that we get, we change a different season. It might not be the type of weather. It might not rain or snow or sleet. Maybe it might be bills. Maybe it might be stresses, employees, property. Maybe it might be a whole bunch. What's up, sweetheart?
Why didn't you tell me Landon was spending money?
I'm on my way. Go talk to your mom about that. That's not me. I said no. So, and it's all about the idea that every point in your life, something different happens. And so, with it, winter coming, yes, winter is coming.
Actually, it's fall. Fall comes before winter, bud.
But winter is coming after fall.
Yeah, in like 5 years.
Yeah, no, like 4 months.
I have a question.
Yes, sweetheart.
How come I'm not allowed to have people over on a school night?
That is a very good, valid question. I think it has something to do with
No. I've never been allowed to have anyone over, even when my room was clean. I was lucky if I was allowed on the weekends.
Well, I'll tell you what. You get your room cleaned, and I will renegotiate with you on that idea.
I don't want people over. I was just mad because I've never been allowed to, even when my room was clean and his room wasn't. And he was still allowed to.
Okay. All right, sweetheart.
Equal rights, equal fights, bud.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. The life of having teenagers.
I wish you would have told me. I found out when I was trying to poop.
What? Was he standing there holding you, handing you toilet paper?
No, but I'm wearing shorts because these are my bedtime shorts. They're pulled down, Dad. You could have told me that we were going to be having guests. I could be wearing pants or something.
They're shorts.
Have you seen these shorts where they're supposed to be?
No.
And I don't think you want to.
They look fine on you.
Because I pulled them all the way down.
You take this with you.
Yeah, no, actually I won't.
You want somebody coming to stay the night with you here. You can take your demon here.
I live with him. I don't have a choice.
It's okay. He wants to go stay the night.
He chose me. I didn't choose him. Demon. He basically lives in my freaking room. I got up last night to go to the bathroom. I come back. My pillow is taken over. My entire freaking pillow.
Yeah, I know. Well, I will.
At least your bed is double the size of mine.
Yes, baby.
What were you on it?
I was going to say that when he sleeps with me, I don't have to worry about waking up with my head being licked.
I do. He knows I don't give a flying freak.
All right. Good night, demon. Have fun.
Oh no, he will be in your bed tonight.
Okay.
Just you wait.
All right.
Just you wait.
Can I go back and do my life? Thank
Huh?
you. Can I go back to doing my life?
Just remember, equal rights, equal fights.
Okay, sweetheart. Love
You
you.
know how the Boston Tea Party
Yeah, love you too, sweetheart.
how
Good
they
night.
taxed on tea?
Good night, sweetheart. Love you.
They're gonna make their tea in the Boston. What's it called? I'm gonna go demon in Dad's bed.
Okay. Good night, babe. Love you.
I'm gonna put carrot in there too. Love you, Dad.
Love you too, sweetheart. Good night.
Good night. No, okay.
Sorry about that, people. Teenagers. We were talking about open seasons and how every season in your life changes. Case in point. My daughter went from this nice little cute cuddly thing thinking that I'm, the world to now bossing me around because, well, my mother's dead and, well, I guess I need a mother now. So we'll just leave it at that. See, the thing is that today is Testify Tuesday. All right. And we're talking about the fact that the seasons are changing. We're talking about fall is coming and winter is coming after that. But we're not, we're basically talking about the weather being a metaphor right now. Because the shift is actually personal for ourselves. See, every time that we end up trying and changing, moving up to the next level, there's a storm that comes. And people avoid the storms because, well, storms avoid the truth. Sometimes storms strip away the comfort level. They make you have to grow. They make you stretch. They make you have to deal with things that you might not be comfortable with. Might not be comfortable with trying and starting your own business. Might not be comfortable writing your own book. Might not be comfortable going back to school when you're in your 40s or 50s because you're going to be going to school with a whole bunch of young 20-something-year-olds and you don't feel confident about yourself. Maybe perhaps the storm that you're going through is having to try and deal with a divorce and you're terrified of that. Or maybe you're finding somebody new to try and be involved with. Or maybe you're trying to find out how to get away from somebody that you're involved with. Or maybe you've got an addiction that you're trying to get away from. See, every time that we go to make a decision to change our life, we go through a challenge. We go through a storm. We go through a season that changes. A season that may or may not be pleasant, that may or may not be comfortable. Because what happens is those seasons, they do bring storms. I mean, I'm in Indiana, so we got some really good storms this past couple weeks. There are people out there still without power. And that's the thing is that sometimes storms force you to make a decision that you don't want to make. They demand growth from you when you don't want to grow. You want to stay comfortable. You want to try and keep things the way they are. Well, I've always done it this way. I actually can't stand little towns that do that, and I'm living in a town. Well, we've always done it that way, so we'll always do it that way. And you wonder why the town's dying, or wonder why the youth are running away as fast as possible. Because change demands growth. See, most people pray for a breakthrough. They pray for their dreams. They pray for their things that they want out of life. They pray for a better future. But they run from the pressure that comes with it. They run from the responsibility that comes with it. They run from the challenges that come with it. People say, "Oh yeah, I'd love to have the X amount of dollars per week to work, from working," but they don't want to put in the extra hours working. Hey, thanks, Mills. People want the extra recognition for doing a job well done, but they don't want to do a quality job. They just want recognition that they did the job. They don't do it with excellence, but they want the recognition for it, and they want to pay for it. People want the growth, but they don't want to go through the pain. People want to have the muscles and the great body, but they don't want to go to the gym and work out. They don't want to get up early in the morning and walk around the block a couple times. They don't want to try and cut back on eating on their soda or their potato chips or sitting in front of their TV set watching TV all night long. They don't want to give that up. They want the perfect body, but they don't want to do the work for it. They want to have their own business, but they don't want to put in the 18-hour days to work towards it. And that's the thing, is that when you pray for something like that, you got to be ready. You got to use my AAA commands. Assess the storm. When I say assess the storm, you got to try and figure out what type of storm is coming. Is it coming to destroy you? Or is it coming to develop you? Ah, like that, huh? Because see, when you sit there and assess the storm that's coming, you can try and decide whether it's going to reveal your challenges or reveal your strengths. Let me repeat that. When the storm comes, you have to assess whether it's going to try and reveal your challenges, reveal your weaknesses. All right, I'll use simple language. Reveal your weaknesses, or is it going to reveal your strengths? Is that storm going to try to remove the people who were never meant to stay around you as you go through the storm? Because don't take this the wrong way. I know a lot of good time Charlies. I mean, I remember I remember being in Boy Scouts, and we used to call them fair weather scouts. They only wanted to go camping. It was going to be a sunny weekend. If it was going to be rain, yeah, nope, they're not going camping. They won't be there at all. If it was going to be cold, yeah, no. Heck, I remember going camping with Mr. Morcus, and we middle of January, and I had my happy little 2-man dome tent. And I remember we actually packed the snow up along the side of it so that we could try and have it warmed up inside there. And I remember getting up the next morning and coming outside and sitting by the fire with Mr. Morcus as he's drinking coffee. And I'm like, "Please, sir, can I have some?" He's like, "It'll stunt your growth, kid." I'm like, "Yeah, well, can I have some coffee, please?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, here." Hey, awesome guy. I love the man. I love the man. And the cool thing is that on that camping trip, there were a lot of people that never came because it was snowing. It was too cold for them. It was too cold. And that's the thing, is that snowstorm removed the true scouts. So you have to assess, is this storm that's coming in your life, is it going to try to remove the people that are just there around you for the good times? That are there just to use you for what you can offer them? Or are they there to try and actually help support you and stand by you and push you and yeah, you can do it. I'm still tripping on being called a cult leader. Goofball Karen across the alley. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you what. Let's have some Kool-Aid. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. But it's like, storms in our life clarify what matters. They help you get clarity. They show you what direction you really, really need to go in and what needs to be worked on. Because if you're able to get through that storm just peachy keen, well, then you know what? You're doing great. If you're struggling to get through that storm, well, guess what? You just found your weakness that you got to work on. Hey, thank you, Darlene. And the thing is, the storms will prepare you for what's on the other side. You know that? It's like a hurricane. You get through that massive wall of storm, and what happens? You get into the eye of the hurricane, and it's all nice and peaceful, sunny outside, beautiful weather. Actually, that's one of my favorite movies. Is The Perfect Storm. Sad, but it is one of my favorite movies. I mean, in all essence, they made it through the storm, but then they went back in, and that's what killed them. And I'm not saying that you need to go back in, but they weren't prepared. They didn't prepare properly for it. That's the thing. Because storms will prepare you for the other side. Storms will prepare you for what's lacking in your abilities to try and handle it. They'll reveal your weaknesses and promote your strengths, apart from removing the people that really you don't need around you. I mean, if you got negative people around you, you might as well just like get out of here. You need to surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people of like-minded. Surround yourself with people of the same goals. There's a quote out there about the idea that if if you hang around with 4 fat people, guess what? You're going to be number 5. If you hang around with 4 drug addicts, guess what? You're going to be number 5. I think the quote is, birds of a feather flock together. But once you assess the storm, you can anchor your identity. You can anchor the strengths and weaknesses that you have. You can anchor the people that are around you on whether or not they need to be around you or not be around you. You can anchor the clarity that you have on what you need to do, where you need to go, how you need to do it, and what needs to be done. Because that's the thing, is when you anchor, you get that clarity of what is on the other side. You get to see your dreams. You get to touch them. You get to feel them. You get to try and smell them. You get to taste them. Taste? I could use some chocolate covered strawberries. Those are really good. But the thing is, though, is that you have to act on it. So you got to assess the storm. See who you need to have around you. What weaknesses you have or what strengths you have. You need to anchor them and focus on developing your weaknesses or strengthening your strengths. Strengthening your strengths? Say that 5 times fast. Anchor on them and then act. Because when you act with intention towards your goals, towards your dreams, towards your destiny, you can't help but win. And we're going to tie all that with my wow. Withstand, assess. When you're withstanding a storm, you have that perfect opportunity to assess what's going on. You just got to try and outlast what's going on around you. You don't have to like it. Just outlast it. And then once you anchor your identity, anchor your weaknesses, and anchor your strengths, and anchor the people that you need or don't need, then you own your future. You own what's going on. You own your direction. You own your story. And that will allow you to become that winner. That will allow you to become the winning agent of your surroundings. 4 people around you. If they're all fat, you'll be fat. If they're all drug addicts, you'll be a drug addict. Unless you change the people around you. Because see, great things live on the other side of that fear of making that step, of making that change. Because everything you've been praying for, everything you've been working for, everything that you've been waiting for is on the other side of the storm that you keep running away from. If you run towards the storm and run through it, you'll get to the other side faster. Bison in the plains. When thunderstorms come, they don't run from the storm like other animals. They don't run and hide like the deer and the antelope and the groundhogs and all the other animals that are out there. They don't run and hide from the storm. They run towards the storm with the whole idea that as soon as they run to the storm, they get to it and they keep running all the way through the storm. Because then the storm doesn't last as long as sitting there waiting for it to pass. Because the other side of the storm has your goals. The other side of the storm has the clarity. When you get to the other side, you have built your confidence. It gives you your identity. Well, hi, cat. What's up? My cat identifies as a cat. See, the other side of the storm has a version of you that can handle your dreams, that can handle your goals, that can handle whatever blessings and abundance that life wants to give you. You just have to get to the other side. You just have to withstand it. You just have to try and outlast it. See, after my house fire, I lived for about a week and a half, maybe almost a month, actually, at somebody's house, sleeping on their couch, while I had to re-get my driver's license, re-get all my debit cards, re-get my keys to my car so I could drive my own car around. Do you know how much of a challenge that is? Relying on somebody else that you've known for less than 6 months to help you, to drive you around as you're wearing their clothing because you can't get to the bank and pull money out because you don't have an ATM card and the banks are closed, at least until Monday morning. But you can't go to the bank and pull money out because you don't have a driver's license anymore. So you got to go to the BMV and get a driver's license. But you can't go there because you need 2 forms of ID, which includes a birth certificate or a social security card, which you don't have now because it burnt in a fire. Do you know how challenging that was? It sucked. But the cool thing is that once you get through those challenges, once you get through those hard times, life gets better. And this morning, that cold air, it felt good. Walking in the woods, it felt good. It felt good. It felt good. Yeah. The crisp, cold air, the trees, the little bit of fall, the reminder that life is changing around us. The reminder that we can either resist the change or rise with it. You know, the dinosaurs resisted changes. Where are they at? In my gas tank. Bad joke, I know. See, seasons change without permission. They're not going to come out and target your neighborhood saying, "Hey, is it okay if we bring on fall 2.0? Can we bring on? You know, we're not going to try and. Would you rather go straight from fall to winter? And they're not going to ask a poll. It's not going to happen like that. They don't ask you for permission. Winter doesn't ask for permission. Gee, can I come? No, it doesn't. Spring doesn't ask for permission to come. Neither does summer. Lord knows those tornadoes that came through the area a couple weeks ago, they didn't ask for permission. And that's the thing, is that when the storms come, it requires discomfort. It requires us to grow. It requires us to try to see where our weaknesses are and where our strengths are. Sort of like the three little pigs. One pig built his house out of hay. Another pig built his house out of wood. And another pig built his house out of stone. Big bad wolf comes along and puffs and puffs and blows the house down. The one that was made out of hay. What did we learn? Don't build your house out of hay. So the little pig runs over to the house with the wood. Together, those two are in the house with wood. Big bad wolf comes along and burns the house down. What did they learn? Don't live in a wood house. They run and quickly run and hide in a brick house. Big bad wolf comes and huffs and puffs and tries to blow the brick house down and passes out. They clobber the wolf in the head with a brick. They eat fresh wolf. Because, well, pigs are carnivores. They'll eat anything. Moral of the story, every time that the wind came to blow their house down, they learned to go to the next level. And I'm sure it wasn't comfortable for them. Running out of the house, running past the starving wolf, hoping that they get away, where they could have gotten killed and eaten. Until finally they got to the brick house and they learned. They learned. The storms teach you your weaknesses. The storms teach you your strengths. The storms signal transformation. They are the harbinger. Oh, I've always loved that word. I'm just letting it go. Storms are the harbinger of your future dreams and goals and aspirations. So when I say walk towards the storm, I mean walk towards the storm. Bring the fire. Bring the shift. Bring the pressure. Because that's what's going to reveal your weaknesses. That's what's going to strengthen your strengths. That's what's going to try and prepare you to be able to handle your dreams, to be able to handle your brick house. Hey, Ryan, be able to handle the things that you constantly ask for. Because when you walk towards a version of you that only adversity can reveal, you withstand more than people know. When you walk towards a version of you that only adversity can reveal, you own more than people see. When you walk towards the version of you that only adversity can reveal, you win in a way that nobody can ignore. The storms aren't made to break you. They're made to build you. You know, and for the Christians out there, God doesn't give you more than you can't handle. He gives you more than enough to teach you something. I feel the same way about life for those non-Christians. Life is there to try and teach you and help you and strengthen you. Help you grow into your dreams, into your goals, into your destiny. And that's why I want to stress that you need to try and step up and make your next move your loudest one yet, because your dreams are waiting for you on the other side of those storms. Your dreams are waiting for you on the other side. Hey, Cash, your dreams are waiting for you on the other side of those challenges, on the other side of those seasons that you're not ready for, but they're there to reveal your strengths. They're there to reveal your weaknesses. They're there to show you that, hey, this is where you need to get stronger on. Because you know what? I truly believe in you. I believe in a sense that you can accomplish your goals and dreams. I know I've been there myself. The hardest thing I've ever done is believe in myself. Hardest thing I've ever done is believe I could make $1 million. And well, I did. Been there, done that. But you know what? It's the believing that you can do it is the hard part. And so that's why when I said that the storms can, hey, Victoria, that's why I said that the storms can reveal who are for you or who are against you. Storms can reveal your strengths or they can reveal your weaknesses. And once you assess your strengths and your weaknesses, you can work towards making them stronger. Yeah, I know that sucks. I saw her in concert many years ago. I truly loved it. Yeah, that sucks. Dolly Parton dying. I'm in the middle of it. So, but yeah. Anyways, well, thank you so much, Cash. I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that.
Why are you hearing them?
Huh? Oh no, they're texting. What the heck was that? Oh, that was a cat. It sounded like a gunshot. Wow, weird. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Cash. And Victoria, yeah, I saw her in concert years and years and years ago when I was a kid, and with Kenny Rogers at that, and my mother, and it was I got to see it at a US 99 concert out of Chicago, and I won tickets for it, to be honest, and that was cool. My mom couldn't believe me that I actually won tickets, but you know, won tickets, and it was first beer I ever drank too, because the lady next to us tried and got a beer, and she got two beers, and I guess they yelled at her for having two beers in her hand, and so she quickly, here, hold this for me, handed it to me. You know, I'm a kid of like 12 at that time, and it was hilarious. I'm like, wow, and I'm like, did you just give that kid a beer? And she's like, no, that's not a beer, that's Sprite. I'm like, yeah, it's Sprite. It was hilarious. Good times. Meanwhile, my mom was busy with my grandmother. They had to go to the bathroom. My grandmother's crippled, so and it was hilarious. But good times, good times. That and the other thing is shortly afterwards, um, there was a Tom T. Hall was there too. Tom T. Hall. He sings a song called Sneaky Snake, and I like beer. And he's an old time country singer. And I guess that lady that had the beers really liked them, because that was also the first time I ever saw, woman's upper appendages. So, and it was, my mom was like, "Whoa, what the heck?" She's like, there's a kid here. She's like, "Oh, relax. He's just a kid. He'll enjoy it sooner or later." So it was wild. Yeah. So, but yeah, all in all though, you got to try and the storms that are in their life, you got to take them. You got to try and look at them and assess them. My 3 A's: assess, anchor, and act. Assess them. Are they gonna reveal your weakness, or are they gonna reveal your strengths? Are they gonna reveal the people that are for you, or are they gonna reveal the people that are against you? And well, you don't need the people that are against you. Exactly. Stay strong. And then once you try to figure that out, you got to anchor. You got to anchor that decision. You got to anchor a decision that you're going to focus on fixing those strengths, making them stronger. You're going to focus on building up those weaknesses. You're going to focus on getting rid of those people that really shouldn't be there. Because unfortunately, we have some of those people around us. Now, we all do. I still get a kick out of the fact that a lady across the alley calls me a cult leader. Currently walking away from the storm. Any tips? Turn around. Assess it. Is it the storm that's going on in your life? Is it Tron? And are you walking away from it because you're afraid of something? Are you afraid of the change that it might bring? Because most storms that come in our life, they're not there to break us. They're to build us. They're to make us stronger. They're the trying to help us assess what is going on in our life. Exactly. Keep your dignity. That's very good, Victoria. Keep your dignity. Keep your head strong. Les Brown puts it, keep your head up. Because if you can keep your head up and you can keep looking up, you can get up no matter how many times you fall. And I love Les Brown. you know, because I'll be honest, I don't know if you're a Christian or not, but I'm a Christian. But if you're not a Christian, life will only give you what you can handle. It'll never give you any more. And if you're a Christian, well, hey, God gives you stuff to try and learn to help you grow into the person that God feels you need to be. Because in my opinion, God gave us all a dream. And only you have that dream. Only you have that dream. And only you can pursue that dream. There's a thing I always talk about business wise. There is nobody else out there that is going to love your business more than you. And if your business is your dream, then you know what? Nobody else is going to love it as much as you are. Because nobody's going to love your dream as much as you do. You got to keep taking those steps. Just one more step. Because once you get to the other side, that's when you got to keep your eyes on a dream. I mean, I'll be honest on this one here. All right, check this out. I don't want to plug the book, but I'm going to plug the book. This right here. My first actual workbook I created. All right. In this book, and I'm going to give you guys free advice on this one here. Whatever your dream is, you got to keep your eyes on it. Focus on it. Look at it. Dream it. Because that's what's going to try to get you through the storms. Trust me. When I went through my house fire, When I went through my house fire, the only thing I kept thinking of is making my business better because I couldn't think of anything else. My house burnt down and my woods I wanted. I wanted a campground and my house burnt down. My house burnt down. I lost everything. And I refocused my dream on my business and being the best that I can be. And I built a nationwide camera business. You know, but you gotta try and take your dream that you have and focus on it. Like right now, my dream is opening up my campground now. I'm this close to it, this close, and it's and of course, life is throwing challenges at me as well too. So I mean, I'm just I'm with you on that one. Life is like a rubber ball. I want to say more like a rubber band. You stretch it too many times, and it's going to get really weak and break and snap you, and it hurt, and it's going to hurt. And you just grab another rubber band and keep going at it. But you can't give up. You got to keep going. Ha! Hey, I like chocolate. Chocolate covered cherries are my favorite. Bingo! Oh, I like that. I like that. When you slam a ball down hard, it comes back stronger. I like that. I like that. I'm going to write that down. You might actually hear me using that later. Life is like a rubber ball. When it hits hard, it bounces back stronger or higher. I like that. Yeah, I like that. It bounces back higher. There we go. Life is like a rubber ball. When it hits hard, it bounces back higher. Thank you. I like that. I like that. That's good. I'm going to use that because that was actually a really good one. So now, thank you, thank you. I'm definitely going to use that. I like that. And and so, long story short, once you get through the storm, I mean, the only way to keep through and going through the storm is even boats on a sea. Okay, boats are made for the ocean. I'll be honest on this one here. All right, but most of the time they're parked in a harbor. But when a storm comes, they go out to the ocean because when they're in a harbor, the storm is very dangerous to a boat in a harbor. In fact, they usually sink the boat in a harbor. But once the boat goes out to the sea during a storm, they keep their eye on one direction. And you got to keep that in mind. When you're in your storm, you got to keep your eyes on one direction. Your dreams. Your dreams are what's going to keep you going. Now, that's a good question. That's a very good question. That's where you assess. Like I said, you got to sit there and assess it. You got to write down, get a pen and paper, and start taking a journal. Write down all the pros and cons about what's going on in your life. And once you control and assess the situation, then you can try and anchor in on the strengths and anchor in on your weaknesses. And once you anchor in on your strengths and your weaknesses, then you can have clarity on which direction you need to go. You know, because we all have challenges. You guys are out there on that one. Yeah, no, don't give out any private addresses. I'll be honest on that one. Well, yeah, you can't leave the anchor. You got to pull out the anchor and keep going. Because even in a storm, if you anchor too long, because that's where I was going next. Assess, anchor on your strengths, on your anchor on your weaknesses, and then act. The triple A. Triple A. Assess, anchor, and act. Those are the three important things. Assess, anchor, and act. Well, figure out what the anchor is. See what your weaknesses are, and see what your strengths are. That's what you got to focus on. And then you got to act on them. Sort of like wanting to lose weight. Everybody wants to lose weight, but nobody wants to try on, and they know they need to go to the gym. They know they need to try and work out more. They know they need to eat less. You know, you assess what you need to do, but until you actually start doing it, you got to pull up the anchor and start doing it. So, and that's what I want to stress on that, guys. You know, but holy crap, I want more over my time. You got to believe that you can do it. You have faith. £50 skate moss. Oh my goodness. You know, I was actually 500 pounds. I kid you not. I was 500 pounds, over 500 pounds. And yeah, no, I'm not joking. If you ever go on my yeah, no, I'm dead serious. I don't know about that. I'm fat and bald still, but thank you though. But I've lost over 100 pounds in the last year. So, and you know, it's from working out. It's from, well, not working out, walking, and I'll admit I've been taking that shot, that GLP-1 shot, but it's helped out a lot. You know, and the thing is that I took steroids when I was in my 20s. That was not a wise thing, but you know, oh, I agree on that one. Walking does, and as you guys, if you guys see some of my videos in the mornings, I do a morning video every day. I'm always walking out in the woods, so and it is soothing. Like this morning, I was out there. It was 56 degrees out there, and it was just cold. And usually about anywhere between 5 and 7 a.m., depending on what time. You know, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. Most of the time between 5 and 7. I just, well, no, I don't do it live. I go out there, do a quick walk around, and come back. And then I try and create my little, cap cut video, and I post it out. Ouch, that's not good. Yeah, I don't have to worry about being thrown in a van. I'm too fat for that. You know, but if they have chocolate covered cherries, they don't have to throw me in a van. I might just get in. Or Star Wars toys, one or the other. Oh, bad joke. I know. Bad joke. But no, seriously, all kidding aside, I and it's one of the things that you need to try and believe in yourself that you can do it. I mean, it's I've been over five. I was over 500 pounds at one point in my life, and I'm I'm at my lowest. I'm at 290 pounds right now, and I'm like, yes, I haven't been this low since before. I haven't been this low this millennium. There you go. I haven't been this low since in this millennium. Last time I was up below 300 pounds was last in the 1990s. Well, thanks, Baron. um, not tonight, but probably on Saturday. Saturdays I tend to open up, you know, uh, open up mic and stuff like that. Or the other thing is on Thursday nights, I have an activation call to my school community where I open it up for people to try and you know, do more like what we're doing right now, talking and socializing and helping a more of a, like a group setting type thing. So, oh man, yeah, I really loved her. I've actually got, show you how old I am. I've actually got 8 tracks of her. Well, I don't know about therapy, but I do private coaching, yes. And I've got 8 track tapes. Just in case you people don't know what that is, 8 track tapes are were the precursor to the cassette tape. And cassette tapes are the precursor to compact discs. So yeah, I'm you know, and 8 tracks. Well, dinosaurs died out shortly before we got to use them. So, but yeah. Anyways, but yeah. Yeah, if you all the stuff is up in my bio if you wanted to try and join the school community and stuff like that. Thursday nights we have what's called an activation call where we try and talk and work on like a group coaching session with whatever people are having issues with, either helping them overcome their fear. Miss all the shot. Oh yes, my mother. All right, I'll give you a little story. My mother, I got to watch her slowly but surely die over 2 years. She died in 1998, and September 28th to be exact. And she had she was a diabetic going through kidney failure. She had a sore on her foot that turned into sepsis and spread throughout her body. And they ended up cutting off her toes, then cutting off her part of her foot, then part of her right below the ankle, then above the ankle, then below the knee, above the knee, below the hip, at the hip, and then once they got to the hip, that's when they started just removing half the liver because it'll grow back, and we'll remove this because we don't really need that, and we'll remove that, and it was horrendous watching her suffer over 2 years. And the night before she passed away, or the day before she passed away, I was sitting there, we were talking, and she was like, I don't think this is going to go on much longer. She's like, I don't like you seeing me like this. She's like, I regret not doing a lot of things. And she's like, promise me that you will regret the things you've done than the things that you've not done but wanted to do. And that hit me. To regret the things that I've done and not regret the things that I've not done but wanted to do. And it hit me. And the next night I got there, and she was, I guess they had issues with her because she was trying to kill herself. And so she was trying to unplug herself from all the different things, and she was going through a psychotic episode, and they ended up strapping her down to the table, leathers, and put a tube down her throat, feed her, and oh, it was horrendous. And the look in her eyes that night was haunting. I mean, I can still imagine it today. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you. You're awesome. You are awesome. Thank you. And the look in her eyes was very haunting. And the next day after I got home from work, they called me and said I need to get there as soon as possible. And that's when she passed away. So, and it was we knew it was coming, but it still sucked watching her. And so since then, I've been focusing on regretting the things I've done, and I've done some stupid stuff. I've had a security company that I lost my butt on. I mean, I ended up filing bankruptcy because of it. All right. but I've also had three internet companies that I sold and made a profit from. You know, I've had this computer store. Craziest thing I've ever done. All right, yeah, you got it. I took my employees. We were in Detroit. We were at Comerica Park, replacing all the jumbo screens there along the causeway on the inside. And we decided to go, since we were in Detroit, we decided we were going to go over the bridge to Canada for lunch and come back. All right, no problem. We did that. We went over the bridge. We had lunch. And I'll never forget, I had some burger and they put mayonnaise on it. And I'm like, what the? Who puts mayonnaise on a burger? It was good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I now eat mayonnaise on my burgers, but it was, and wait, on the way back, we had to show our driver's license. Yeah, we drove to Canada because it's just right there. I mean, in Detroit, there's that bridge that goes right over the little, like, whatever it is. And so we drove over the bridge, went through customs to go have lunch in Canada, while we're doing this job at Comerica Park. We had our lunch and we come back and we're at the border and everybody else pulls out their license. And I forgot that I actually had a speeding ticket in Chicago. And in Chicago back then, they'd take the ticket, they'd give you the ticket, and they'd keep your driver's license. So I had no photo ID to come back into the country. I didn't have my birth certificate with me. I had no other form of ID on me other than credit cards and my speeding ticket from Chicago. Oh, it was a cluster. They ended up having to call my wife in Chicago to get a copy of my birth certificate that was at home and had it faxed over to the customs office so they could show it, as well as a picture of me and her together and her driver's license. So she had to take a Polaroid picture of herself with her driver's license holding up in there. So yeah, this was insane. And so it could get faxed over in a black and white picture to the United States Customs Office or border or whatever like this, so I could come back into Canada, so I could come back into the United States, so we could finish the job. And that night we got in. I mean, we finally got in. We couldn't go back to the job site because it was too late. So we ended up going to the hotel, stayed at the hotel that night. And that night somebody busted out the windows in my car and stole the rest of my tools out of my car. And I'm like, unbelievable type of craziness that happened. So yeah, it was insane. But yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, that was insane. But you know what? We ended up buying a bunch of drills from Home Depot in Detroit, and we finished the job the next morning, and we got out of there. Car insurance didn't cover it because we were on a job site, and insurance doesn't cover commercial stuff at that point. And even then, it was only like about $1,000 worth of tools that we lost. So, but yeah, it was wow. I know, crazy. Frank's story. Frank's story. Oh, Frank Gallagher. Oh yeah, Frank Gallagher. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The watermelon smashing guy. Yeah, I love that guy too. All right. Anyways, I've got to get out of here. I'm at my hour mark, and anything more than I can't share it and put it up on Spotify. So you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me tonight. And remember, you got to keep going. You got to believe in yourself. You got to walk towards that storm and realize that great things are waiting for you on the other side. Sounds good. Sounds good. Or if you join my school community on Thursday night, we have that activation call in the school community. It's free. So you guys have an excellent evening. Remember, you've withstood more than you know. You've owned more than people seen. Go to my bio. It's in my bio. You can take a look at it. You've owned more than people seen. It's time to stand up. It's time to walk towards that storm and get through it, believing in yourself and become the winner that you really are. You have an excellent evening. Good night, everybody.